Good morning, students. Welcome back to History Lecture. Today we will continue with our fifth chapter, Mass Media and History. We have already started this lesson, and in previous lecture we studied that what is meant by mass media. As in mass media there are two words, mass which mean an aggregation or the group of people, and media which means various modes of communication. Then we also come to know that printing technology and newspapers were introduced in India after the arrival of Britishers. We studied about the newspaper. Newspaper became the first mass medium of circulating information and knowledge among the people. Then it is a publication which mainly prints news, editorials, people's opinion, entertaining or other supplementary content. Then we also studied the precursors of newspaper. In Egypt, inscription with the royal decrees or the order, decrees means order, were placed at the public places. Emperor Ashoka resorted to similar method to reach out to his subjects. So Emperor Ashoka also used the same method to reach his subject, to convey the message to the subject. In the Roman Empire, the royal decrees were written on paper and those papers were distributed among the people. But during the Julius Caesar reign, newspapers were called Acta Diurna, which mean as act of every day, was published. Then we studied about the newspaper in the pre-independence period. Before independence, which newspaper were there in India? The first one is Bengal Gazette, was started by the Irish gentleman, and the name of that gentleman is James Augustus Hickey. And when he started on 29th January 1780, it was named as Calcutta General Advertiser or Bengal Gazette. Then second newspaper was Darpan, was started in the year 1832 in Mumbai, and this was the first Marathi newspaper in India. Balshastri Jambekar was the editor. So the news printed was about the political, economic, social and cultural events of those time. For example, account of expenditure from the three administrative division. As I told you, there are three administrative division like Madras province, Bengal province or the Calcutta or Bombay provinces. So how many expenditure or the fund they have used, that was the account of East India Company was published in the Darpan newspaper. Then also the Balasastri Jambekar is referred to as first editor because is being the first Marathi newspaper. His birthday is on 6th January, observed as Patrakar Din or the Journalist Day in Maharashtra. Then the second newspaper is Prabhakar. It was started by Bahu Mahajan. The history of French Revolution and the Shatapatre written by Lok Hitvadi was aimed at creating social awareness among the people. So he published the Shatapatre written by Lok Hitvadi and the French Revolution in Prabhakar newspaper so they can create a social awareness among the people. Then the third one is Dhyanodaya. Dhyanodaya printed the map of Asia and the map of Europe for the first time. So they got the honor of printing the illustration in the Indian newspaper for the first time goes to Dhyanodaya. News printed in this paper were installation of telegraph when the telegraph was installed or started in our country. That news was also printed in this newspaper. Even they published the news of starting of railway in India and they have given the title Chakya Masoba, means a giant wheel. So news of Indian War of Independence of 1857 also was published in this newspaper. Then there are few other newspapers like Indu Prakash which supported the widow remarriage. Then Dinbandhu, started by Mahatma Phule's close associates Krishnarao Bhalerkar, represented a masses or the group of people, Indian society, that is Bahujan Samaj, and issues relating to the masses are known through this newspaper. So they used to publish the news related to the lower class people. Now today we are going to move further with another newspaper, that is Kesari and Maratha. So this Kesari and Maratha newspaper was started by Gopal Ganesh Agarkar and Bal Gangadhar Tilak in the year 1881. Kesari and Maratha, the two newspapers, are indicative of an important stage in the history of Indian newspaper before independence. So, the two newspapers, that is Kesari and Maratha, were important stage in the history of Indian newspaper before independence. Gopal Ganesh Agarkar and Bal Gangadhar Tilak started this newspaper in the year 1881. They spoke about social and political issue of that period. So they were talking to the people through the newspaper about social and the political issues in a country. They were creating awareness, they were teaching the people, they were telling the people about the political issues. They were giving education through the newspaper. So the Kesari began to publish articles about the nationwide situation, books in the native languages, and the politics in England. So this Kesari newspaper, they also started publish the articles about the nationwide situation, what is happening in a country or what is happening in a nation. Then they also started publishing the books in a native languages, as many books were there in the Sanskrit language or the English language. So they started translating those books in a native languages. And in politics in England, and what type of politics or the political situation is there in England, that was published through the Kesari. In the 21st century, newspapers have continued to fulfill an important role. It was acknowledged the fourth column of democracy. As we already know that in parliament there are three columns. The first one is legislature, the second one is executive, and the third one is judiciary. And the fourth pillar is the newspaper. So newspapers also have important role in the fourth column of democracy. Now here is very important, the Kesari was the Marathi newspaper and the Maratha was the English newspaper. Now we will move to the next topic, that is magazines and journals. Magazines and journals are periodical publications, means they are published after a particular period. This category includes, in this category, the publication which are weekly, means week wise the publications of magazines and journals happens, or bi-weekly. Bi-weekly means after 15 days. Monthly means after 1 month. Bi-monthly means after 2 months. Quarterly means after 3 months. 6 monthly means after 6 months. Annual means after 1 year, etc. So these are the categories include the publication. So after like week wise, after 15 days, after month, after 2 months, after 3 months, after 6 months, and after 1 year. So like that the magazines and journals are periodically published. There may be some chronicles which are published at no fixed times. Chronicles means the articles written account of important or historical events in order of their occurrence, that is called as a chronicle. So sometimes the chronicles which are published are no fixed time, anytime they were publishing the chronicles or the articles. So through the magazines and journals, they also help us to know about the historical events or the issue happened during that time. So the magazines and journals were also doing the work of providing information. Next we are going to see do this. In recent time, many newspapers have introduced e-newspaper. The e-newspapers are being received well by the readers. Learn to read e-newspaper with the help of your teacher. E-newspaper means electronic newspaper. Nowadays we all are using the mobile, internet, and every newspaper publication they have their own website. So if we are not able to purchase the newspaper, then we can visit the website of that newspaper and we can read the news. For example, it recently happened with us when the lockdown was going on. That time the newspaper were also not published. Okay, and they told us to read the e-newspaper, electronic newspaper. You can visit the website and from that you can read the news of that particular day. So every newspaper they have their website. So if you have a time, you can go to the Google and you can find out the Times of India, then Hindustan Times. And if you read any Marathi or other Hindi newspaper, then you can find the Lok Satta also, Maharashtra Times. So like that you can search and you can read the newspaper. Next, Bal Shastri Jambekar started the first monthly magazine in Marathi. It was named Digdarshan. Among the periodicals, Pragati, now a defunct journal, was started in 1929 and edited by Trambak Shankar Shejwalkar. He wrote regularly in his historiographical journal of Maharashtra's history and social movement. Here the word defunct. Defunct means no longer existing or a functioning. That is called as a defunct. So Pragati now it's no longer existing or functioning. But those two magazines, Digdarshan and Pragati, the Digdarshan was started by the Bal Shastri Jambekar and the Pragati was started by Trambak Shankar Shejwalkar. And in that Pragati, he was writing historiographical journal of Maharashtra's history and the social movement. Next, currently there are many periodicals devoted to Indian history. Marathi journals such as Bhartiya Itihas आणि Sanskruti and Marathwada Itihas Parishad Patrika may be cited as example. So currently there are also many periodicals which devoted or covered to the Indian history. Marathi journals such as Bhartiya Itihas and Sanskruti, then Marathwada Itihas, Parishad Patrika may be cited as example. So these two are the example of periodicals which publish or talk about the Indian history. Next one is electronic and digital journalism. So we have already talked about e-newspaper. So e-newspaper will also fall in electronic or the digital journalism. These are ultra-modern periodicals from a part of electronic of digital journalism. Now what is ultra-modern? Ultra-modern means extremely modern or advanced. So these are the extra-modern periodicals form a part of electronic of digital journalism. History is a prime subject, or we can say the main subject of interest for these periodicals as well. For this periodical, the history is also a main subject. Many web news portals, social media, web channels, YouTube, etc. make historical content available to the audience and readers. So there are many web news, or the portals are there, or the social media is there, or the web channels are there, YouTubes are there. There you will find a lot of information on history. So they are putting the content available on history, so the readers or the audience, they can read or they can see the videos, and they can also see the difference in Indian history. And so this is also very important source of history which provide the information. Now the second one is radio. Indian Broadcasting Company, IBC, a private radio company, was the first one to broadcast the daily programs. So the Indian Broadcasting Company, IBC, a private radio company, was the first one to broadcast the daily programs. So if you have heard from your grandparents or the parents, they will tell you that when the radio was started, that time on that radio they were publishing the daily program. So like on televisions there are timing for the particular program. The same way on the radio also, during that time there was a daily programs. For example, during this time for 1 o'clock there will be a news, 2 o'clock there will be song. So the people were eagerly waiting for those programs. Later the same company was taken over by the British government and the name as Indian State Broadcasting Service, that is ISBS. So the British government take over the IBC company and they named as Indian State Broadcasting Service, that is ISBS. On 8 June 1936, it was renamed as All India Radio. And again on the 8 June 1936, it was renamed as All India Radio. AIR. Until now, we called it as a All India Radio only. You can see the logo of radio, that is Akashvani. Akash means from the sky. Vani means like sound or the voice. From the sky, we are hearing the voice or the sound. That is why it is called as a Akashvani. After independence, AIR become, or the AIR, that is All India Radio, became an integral part of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting India. So after the independence, this All India Radio has become the important part of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in India. Initially, it broadcasted governmental programs and schemes. So they, with the help of the All India Radio, they broadcast a governmental program and the schemes. Okay, and for example, like Narendra Modi, when he is saying the Man Ki Baat, that time it was published through the All India Radio. Also, there are channels like Radio Mirchi and others are also there. They are also providing the information, but they are also doing the work of entertaining the people. But All India Radio is the channel which provide the information about the governmental programs and the schemes. It was named as Akashvani on the suggestion of the famous poet Pandit Narendra Sharma. So, on the suggestion of Pandit Narendra Sharma, he was a famous poet. It was named as Akashvani. Akashvani, as I told you, Akash means the sky and the Vani means the sound. So, from the sky, the sound comes. That is why it is called as Akashvani. Akashvani broadcast various entertainment, awareness creating and the literacy program. So, they broadcast the various programs of entertainment, then creating awareness, literary means about the education programs. It also broadcasts special programs for farmers, workers, the youth and the women. So they also provide the programs for the farmers. They provide information to the farmers regarding the crops and different government schemes. Also, they provide information to the workers, the youth and the women for their health purpose, etc. The Vivid Bharati programs are broadcasted in 24 regional language as well as 146 dialects of Indian language. So this program Vivid Bharati is broadcasted in 24 regional language. As every region there is a different language. For example, in Maharashtra we have a Marathi, then in Gujarat we have a Gujarati language. So everywhere the language is different, the regional language is different. So there are 24 regional languages. In that 24 regional language they publish the Vivid Bharati programs. Then also they publish in 146 dialects of Indian language. So the dialect means a particular form of language which is peculiar to the specific group or a specific region. So that is called as a dialect. So in Vivid Bharati program is also broadcast in 146 dialects of Indian language. For example, if you are going to take the example of Maharashtra, then in Maharashtra if you are going to move to the Konkan side, then people they are speaking the different language, that is Konkani language. So that will be a dialect. Then in Vidarbha also the people are speaking the different language. Then in Kolhapur district also the people are speaking the different language. So that is a dialect. So in 146 dialects of Indian language they also publish or the broadcast the Vivid Bharati program in 146 dialects of Indian language. Lately various new channels like Radio Mirchi are providing radio services, and after that various news channels like Radio Mirchi they also provide the radio services. They also started providing the radio service. Next is, do you know, in the British India the first English news bulletin was broadcasted on 23rd July 1927 from the Mumbai radio station of the Indian Broadcasting Company, that is IBC. Later, the Kolkata radio station of IBC started a news bulletin in Bengali. So what is news bulletin? Whenever we see the news channel, they are always showing us the bulletin. Bulletin means they are it's a short report or the short news report of whatever happened in every day. That is called as a news bulletin. So the British India, the first English news bulletin was broadcasted on 23rd July 1927 from Mumbai radio station of India Broadcasting Company, that is IBC. So it was published in English and it was published in Mumbai. So later in Kolkata radio station, they also started news bulletin in the Bengali language. So everyone, they don't know the English language. So that is why in Kolkata they started publishing the news bulletin or a short report of news in Bengali language. Now the next one is television. The Delhi Doordarshan Center was inaugurated. Inaugurated means it was opened by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the first Indian president. So Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first Indian president. He inaugurated the Delhi Doordarshan Center. Doordarshan Mumbai Center began to telecast its program on 1st May 1972. And so there in Mumbai also we are having a Doordarshan Center, and that center we are having in Worli. Worli we are having a Doordarshan Center. So it began to telecast its program from 1st May 1972. Color televisions was introduced on 15th August 1982. So before that it was a black and white television, and after that in the year 1982 it started the color television. In 1991, the Indian government granted permission to private national and international channels to telecast in India. So in the year 1991, the Indian government, they gave the permission to the national, private and international channels to broadcast in India. For example, on television, if you are going to see, there are different channels like Star Plus, then Sony, then ZTV. So these are the private channels. Okay, these are the not government channels. These are the private national channels. But you have also seen the DD channel, DD National, okay, or the Doordarshan. So these are the government channels. So before 1991, only two channels were there, that is the DD News or the Doordarshan. So only two channels were publishing about the government news and entertaining the people. So after 1991, the government has given permission to the private channels also, so they can also publish the news, they can also entertainment the people. That is why we have the channels like Sub TV, Sony, ZTV, Star Plus. So these are the private channels. Also we have international channels. Okay, if you are going to see, there are many programs which are from other countries, like HBO is there. So these are the different channels which are from other countries are also telecast in India. So when they got the permission, they got the permission in the year 1991. Thus it became possible for Indians to watch international events on television, and because of that it was possible for Indians to see the international events on television. What is happening at the international level, what is happening in another country, so we can see the news, and through that we will come to know what is happening in America, what is happening in England. So it was possible because of the international channels which are published or telecast in India. Now for example, there are different international channels, as I told you, the HBO is there, then the Disney channels are there, then BBC World News are there. So they are providing the information about the international level. Next we are going to learn, that is, why do we need a mass media? That is the third point of this lesson. Now we have seen about the newspaper, we have seen about the radio, we have seen about the television. They are providing us various information, and because of that it is possible for us to know about what is happening in the world, or we get the information, or it create the awareness among us. So the newspapers, the radio, television, electronic or the digital journalism is very important in our life, or they are playing very important role in our life. Then the next question is, why do we need a mass media? So yes, we need the mass media in our life, so we will be update in every second, and we will get the information about what is happening in the world, what is happening in our country, so we can keep ourselves updated. So the mass media is very important in our life. We need mass media to facilitate free flow of information to all strata of the society. Strata means the level. So the mass media, it provide the facility for the free flow of information to all level of the society. So at the all level of society, it providing the equal information. It facilitate the free flow of information to all strata of the society. Editorials, various columns and supplements are essential part of newspapers. So these are the very important part of newspaper, like editorials, then various columns and the supplements. Readers are also ensured of a platform to voice their opinion. Newspaper can help in making the democracy stronger. So if the reader, if they find that this whatever they have published or whatever they have supplement, if it is wrong, then they can raise their voice and they can give their opinion. So the newspaper can also help in making the democracy stronger, and because of that the democracy will be stronger. Television is an audiovisual medium. It was possible for this medium to cross the inherent limitation of newspaper and the radio and show the actual visuals of an event to the people. As television is a audiovisual, means we can hear also and we can see the picture also. So television is audiovisual medium. It was possible for this medium to cross the inherent limitations of newspapers and the radio and show the actual visual of an event to the people. So because of television, it has become possible for this medium to cross all the inherent limitations. Like inherent limitations, inherent means from the birth, or we can say, or from the, or permanent we can say. So whatever the limitations were there of newspapers, so in newspapers only we can see the pictures or we can read, and in the radio only we can hear. But whereas on television we can see the actual visual of an event to the people. So with the help of the television we can see what is happening at that particular place. So many times whenever we are seeing the news, that time they are showing us the video what is happening at that particular place. Okay, so it is possible because of the television. So far there is no other alternative to television for watching an event as it is actually happened. So when we are watching that on the news channel on television, that time we feel that we are present over there and we can see what is exactly happening to that place or with that people. So the television is very important and there is no other alternative for the television. That's all. Now we will continue with the fourth and the fifth point in the next lecture.